Hey darts fans, God, it's taken me a long time to get a decent shot tonight. I've been throwing like a donkey. But anyway, I wanted to try and get some unusual trebles, and I think that was whatever 912s are. That's 108, right? So you'd never, of course, try to get 108 by throwing um, three treble 12s, but the whole point of today's video, level 7 of the Matthew Edgar Darts Master Series, is getting to know our trebles. So it's Timo Newman, the transporter. Welcome to the good ship Undarted Waters. As I said, level 7 of the Matthew Edgar Darts Master Series. Please check out the links below for the links with Matthew Edgar's website and his YouTube channel and so on. And we're going through his amazing training program to take you from beginner to Darts Master. In my case, it took me 18 months. Maybe for you, you can do it in 6 months or 12 months. Who knows? But practice is the key. Now, if you've been working on level 6, which, is hard, which we covered in the last video, 10 bullseyes, according to those rules, you will get to know your bull area of the dartboard extremely well, to the point where when you succeed in that challenge, hitting the bull will be quite a comfortable, familiar thing. Well, in the same spirit, this level 7 is about getting to know your dartboard in a way that you've never gotten to know it before, with all 20 trebles. So in order to succeed in this challenge, we're going to be having to go for trebles. And here's the challenge, and then you'll see why trebles are so important. We have 20 visits to the dartboard. It's a long challenge, and we go in sequence: segment 1, segment 2, segment 3, all the way up to segment 20, and we score. So we get 1 point for a single, 1 point for a single, 2 points for a double, and 3 points for a treble. So it's sounding a bit like that game cricket that we played, but the difference here is that you want to try and get as many points as you can with your 3 darts in each segment. Because the grand challenge is, when you've gone around all 20 segments, you have to get 80 or more points. So that means you're trying to get on average 4 points per segment. So you can see what's tricky about this. If you're super accurate and diligent and you get 3 singles on every single segment, it's no good, because that will give you a total of 60 points. You're going to fail the level. To succeed in this level, a lot of your darts are going to have to be hitting the trebles. Now, of course, you could also go for doubles in principle, but really, you wouldn't really want to be going for doubles, because there's a risk that you miss the segment entirely on the outside. So really, it's about singles and trebles. Singles are important too, because you want to pick up those points, and you're not going to be getting, 3 trebles per segment very often at all, unless you're a very, very strong player. It's just taken me a ridiculous amount of time to do a nice little shot there to start the video, to the point where it's night time and I don't know whether I'm coming or going. But anyway, so you're not really trying to get like 9 points per segment at all, but you want to be averaging 4. Okay, and this is I would say, quite a tricky challenge. And what my advice would be the following: it's quite hard to get 80 points, as you'll soon discover if you have a go at this challenge. So what I would suggest is that, depending on your level, set yourself a lower target at first, just to give yourself some confidence. So it could be that you set yourself that you want to get 40 points going around the whole board, and you would get that by just averaging 2 darts per segment. So if your segment accuracy was 2/3, which is pretty good, and you weren't really hitting many trebles, you would be getting around about 40 points for this challenge. And if you're comfortably getting 40, then you can up it and say, right, I want to try and regularly get over 50. And then finally, if you can get up to 60, if you can regularly get over 60 points on this challenge, which means that you're averaging 3 points per segment, and that means you're getting a fair number of trebles, because you're not going to be getting all 3 darts in every segment. That's really too difficult. Okay, you're going to be missing sometimes, and you only get points, of course, if the dart goes in the segment you're aiming for. So 60 is actually a pretty decent score at this game. And my feeling is once you get over 60, then you're getting close to being able to do this, because occasionally then you'll hit 70, and once you hit 70, it would be like a dog smelling raw meat. You'll be hungry for finishing this, because it'll probably be several weeks have gone by, or maybe longer. I can't remember how long this one took me, probably quite a few weeks, maybe even a couple of months, I can't remember, but it was a long old haul, to the point where you do get very tired of it, but you keep going, and your treble hitting is going to get better and better and better. Because what I've found in finally succeeding in this is that I would occasionally get a really big haul. Maybe I get 7 points or even 9 points on a segment, and that would make up for all of the darts that are missing segments, and that's the way you're finally going to hit 80 points. Okay, so let me just give you a demonstration, and then I'll just say a few more words about this challenge, and we'll say good night. Okay, so thanks very much. Here we go. Take 3. Okay, so that's not a bad start there. I've got 5 points. I got a treble and 2 singles, so my score is 5. I'm 1 ahead of where I need to be. Great, let's go on to segment 2. And again, I want to be aiming for trebles here. Wow, that's great. So I've got another 5 points there. So my score is now 10. I'm 2 points ahead of kind of the running average, because we want to average 4 points a segment. After 2 segments, 8 is a good score. I'm on 10. I'm 2 points ahead. Let's go on to segment 3. And 3 is always a tricky segment. And that's a pretty typical result there. I've got 3 singles, so that means my score is now 13. So I'm 1 point ahead of where I need to be. I'll just go up to the 4s, and I'll probably call it a day on this demonstration. So that was actually a very, very sloppy visit there. I just got 1 point. So that takes us on to 14. So I'll just do the 5s, see if we can do it a bit better. It's not nice to end on a low, is it? Phew. Okay, so there's 6 points there. So actually, that takes us to 20. So after 5 segments, the score's on 20. So we're right on target there. But you've got to keep that level up for 3 more quarters, as it were. You know, 6 to 10, 11 to 15, 16 to 20. So when I was playing this game, I would often just keep that running average, and I would often think of this as a game of 4 quarters, where you want to be getting 20 points per quarter. It's quite tough, okay? But again, just like with the bullseye challenge, the aim is not really to ultimately get the 10 bulls or get the 80 points on this game. I mean, you need to do that to finish the level, but really the point of this is that you will become so comfortable at hitting trebles with this one. You'll be so comfortable hitting bullseyes with the previous one, and in getting that level of accuracy, like I mentioned in the previous video, you will be honing your skills as a consistent, accurate dart throwing machine. That's what these challenges are all about. These challenges 6 to 9. It's getting you honed more and more and more to be precise and consistent, particularly because this is a long challenge. 20 visits to the board is a lot of visits, and what I found would happen if I was starting well, I would tail off because I'd get tired, I would get distracted, my focus would be lost, and even if the first 10 segments went well, for no apparent reason, I would just start to drift and score poorly, and then you can't really get that deficit back. So you've got to keep your concentration strong for 20 visits in order to score 80. But like I say, unless you're a very strong player who's going to sort of be able to do this off the bat, Set yourself a lower target at the beginning, 40 or 50, then aspire to 60, then aspire to 70. And once you get to 70, you will complete this challenge, because it will be like red meat to a Rottweiler. You'll smell it, you'll want to eat it, and you'll get those 80 points. Right, so very good. I've been having some really great feedback on the challenge on the channel. I really appreciate that. I'm going to definitely make a series on the geometry of the dartboard following this Matthew Edgar series, and then I'll be making a series of videos on technique, because people have been asking about that, like what kind of darts do I use, for example, and then how to develop a good technique. And I've got kind of a philosophy of that I'd like to share with you and maybe get your comments on. But it's a philosophy that's a bit different to the usual kind of training videos that are out there by real darts players, because I'm just an amateur who happens to be a scientist, so my approach is a bit different. Right, enough yapping from Timo Newman. It's really great. Thanks for all the support, guys. And 3 darts at the Oki. Make them count, and good luck with this bloomin' challenge, okay? See you next time.